In 8th grade, section 6.3, we're dealing with converting rates and measurements. So what we're doing is a dimensional analysis. And an example of a dimensional analysis, for example, we have 1 hour equals 60 minutes, yes? So I can write it as in 1 hour over 60 minutes, or I can write it as 60 minutes over 1 hour. So it's like 60 minutes per hour, okay? When you're setting up these conversions, you want to aim to cancel out what you don't want. For example, if information is given to me in hours and I want minutes, I want to cancel out my hours, okay? For example, here it says to convert 520 miles per year to miles per month. Let's take it one conversion at a time. We have 520 miles over 1 year. And I want to convert it to miles per month. So I want to keep this, but I want to get rid of this and turn it into months. Okay? I know, as a sideline here, that I know that 1 year equals 12 months. So according to my dimensional analysis, I can do 1 year over 12 months, or I can do 12 months over 1 year. Okay? The question is, which one do I use? Well, I use the one that cancels out my year. If year was in the bottom, okay, if year was in the bottom, then I would have year squared, because what I'm doing is I'm multiplying this out. So if I end up using 12 months over 1 year, I'm going to end up with year times year, which is year squared. So what I want to do is, if I have 1 year on top, 12 months on the bottom, this year and this year cancel out, and I end up with miles per month. So what I want to do here is I want to choose the one that cancels out. So if the year is on the bottom here, then I need to pick the one where year's on the top. Okay? And then I just multiply across. 520 times 1 equals 520. And 1 year times 12 is 12. And if I do the math on my handy dandy calculator, 43.3. So I have 43.3 miles per month. Okay? Or I can just reduce 520 over 12. The next one is telling us to convert 300 gallons per hour to quarts per second. Now, I'm doing multiple conversions here because this one only wanted me to change the year to months, but this one wants me to change the gallons to quarts and seconds per hour. The thing with these, converting rates is that I can multiply as many fractions as possible. And again, I'm doing the same thing. I'm aiming to cancel out what I don't want. If you look on page 278 in your books, it will give you some of the conversions, and if you don't find the conversion you need, go ahead and look it up on the internet, because it's all there. Google it. So let's start with the original value. We have 300 gallons over 1 hour. Okay? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to, and that dot is the same thing as multiplication. We're going to focus on the hour first. I don't know how many seconds there are per hour, but I do know that there's 1 hour, there's 60 minutes per hour. Now I want to get rid of hour, so I'm going to put hour here, and then 60 minutes. If hour was on top, then I would flip them again, because I want to cancel out what I don't need. And I do know that for every minute, 1 minute is 60 seconds. And again, I put minute on top because minute here is on bottom. So minute here is on bottom, so that means this minute and this minute cancels out, leaving me with just S. Okay? So I've converted my hour into seconds, but now I want to convert my gallons into quarts. Now in your book on page 278, there's not a straight gallon to quarts, but there's gallons to liters and then liters to gallons. So we have to do the same thing that we do here. I'm multiplying 1 gallon, and because gallon here is on top, okay, it doesn't matter if it skips, it still will cancel out. I want the gallon on the bottom here. So 1 gallon is 3.785 liters. And then, because I want to keep quarts but cancel out liters, because liters are on top, I'm going to put liters here on the bottom. So 1.057 liters. Sorry. 1 liter equals 1.057 quarts. Now, before I multiply this across, and I know it seems long, but my goal is to first turn gallons into liters. So let's see. This gallon on top cancels with this gallon on the bottom. Okay? This liter on top cancels with this liter on the bottom, leaving me with just quarts. So it wants me quarts per second, check. So this hour cancels with this hour, and this minute cancels with this minute, leaving me with just seconds per second. Done. So I know my end is going to be quarts per second. Now the question is, how many of each? And we just multiply across. Okay? So we do 300. Now, if I set it up correctly to everything cancels out, all I have to do is multiply and reduce and we're done. So 300 times 3.785 times 1.057 gives me 1,000, well this is a big number, 1,200.22. Okay, we'll keep it at 2 decimal places. Okay, 1,200.22 quarts. This is a Q, not a 9. Okay, and then I multiply across here 60 times 60 times 1 times 1. So we end up with 3,600. So now I'm just going to divide 1,200.22 divided by 3,600 gives me 0.33 quarts per second. 0.33 quarts per second. All right, so go ahead and try page 280, numbers 5 and 8, page 280, numbers 5 and 8, and I will see you in class.